I've been waiting all week to dive into Hot Topics, so I don't want to waste another moment. Joining me on the panel today are King 5 traffic anchor Shante Sumpter, founder of the South Seattle Emerald, Marcus Harrison Green, and of course, New Day producer Rebecca. Hello, everyone.
Hey.
Good morning.
Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm starting it off. I feel like all of you guys, if you're not already my friends, are going to be my friends. You get to try a new wine, but it's a non-alcoholic, alcoholized wine. Whoa.
De-alkalized.
It's called Unwind, and it's rosé.
Okay.
And they combine traditional winemaking with modern technology that preserves the essence and complexities of the original wine.
Okay.
I have it right there for you. I want a taste test.
Let's see. Let's
And
see.
you guys let me know what you think.
See, I'm a professional champagne
I
pourer
already know.
right here.
I love this.
I love the color. I love
Oh,
rosé.
shoot.
Get a liberal pour here.
It's non-alcoholic. So.
All right. Well,
So drink up. I honestly think that this tastes exactly like rosé. It tastes like summer in a glass
Yeah,
to me.
it's really, really close.
Right?
you know, I don't know. I think I've had this before when it was called sugar-free sparkling grape juice. But it's good nonetheless. It's good nonetheless.
Look, Marcus, I might be with you because
Okay. Yeah.
I hate to say this, but it kind of just tastes like this. I don't know. I don't have a taste right now. It's just bitter. I mean, so I guess it does kind of have the rosé taste to it, but it's like juice maybe.
I disagree. I actually really like it. But
I
I'm a
do
rosé
too.
person. So
am I. Rosé is like my drink of choice in the summer, and this, I just love it. And I
like
feel like it's nice and chilled, so shout out to whoever did that for us today. But you can find that at the Four Seasons Seattle
nice.
and at the Leshai Market and so forth. So Unwind if you're into
know-
that. I know we have a couple that maybe want to pass on that.
You know, I mean, I would drink it, but
There she goes. There she
if I was expecting or something along those lines,
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
if I was taking communion. You know, maybe, yes.
but I think it's important though to have these options because for people who don't want to
Absolutely.
drink and who like, you know, it's important.
Okay, let's move on. Here's a reason to celebrate, or maybe not. You tell me. Seattle Public Schools are finally letting out for the summer tomorrow on June 30th. They had to go through 2 weeks later because of the teacher strike. Rebecca, I know you have kids, so how are you feeling?
So my kids got out 2 weeks ago, and that feels like an eternity ago. I cannot believe that they're just now letting it. It's 4th of July is this weekend. That's insane.
Insane.
I didn't realize they were still in school until I think maybe yesterday I heard someone mention, yeah, the kids get out on Friday because I know kids who have also been out for about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But I guess, you know, when you think about it, they had a later start, so you have to even it out, make sure you're going the full amount of days of school, you know, that are required. So
But are they actually doing anything? That's my question. Like, are they really learning still, or is it like, let's pop in a movie and I don't know.
Well, I will say this. I was fortunate enough to go to 2 graduations yesterday that weren't overly long at all.
Okay,
that's
love
nice.
that.
One was a 5th grade, and then one was a high school graduation. And I asked the students, I just did a general survey. I was like, what did you learn in these last 2 weeks? And I will say this, like I think they learned the best skills possible for a 9-to-5 job. It wasn't, AI creation. It wasn't like coding. It was learning how to look busy when you have absolutely nothing to do. So, I mean,
Love
that helps you out in life, I would say a lot.
it really will. You'll go far.
And thank you for doing the resurge, Marcus. That's so
Yes, a
impressive.
nice focus group. We love that.
Do I get like an extra bottle of this?
You
Unwind?
you can have it.
Okay.
But this might throw a little wrench in maybe some of those summer break plans that we're talking about. Washington State has the most expensive gas right now in the country, even more than California. That surprised me. We're currently paying on average $4.98 for unleaded, and that's $1.50 more than the national average. So what do we think about this? Is this going to hinder your road trip plans this summer?
Is it bad that I'm like, it's still under $5? It's fine. We're conditioned to be like.
Exactly.
It's always kind of high. And I think one thing about it, I haven't heard anybody talking about gas prices because so many people here make a lot of money. They probably didn't even notice. It's the people who are probably struggling, who are probably like, come on. But it's always high. It's always pushing 5, I think. I've never seen it under 5 or under 4
But not
since I've been
everybody
here.
here makes a lot of money. And I actually was in line at the grocery store yesterday, and I did hear people complaining about it.
Oh,
So
good. But yeah, definitely not everybody, but there's a lot of high earners for sure.
Yeah, and I will say, like, as somebody who lives in South Seattle, which is, the least affluent area of the city, I was talking to somebody, and they were like, they were like, should I do a road trip to Portland, or should I go ahead and do a round trip flight to Paris? Because it's about the same at this point.
Yeah, right?
Oh my Lord. That's so depressing. Yeah, and if you're not getting unleaded too, and you have to do like the premium or the plus, like add on even more to that, it's just.
Not for me.
No. But your kids are out, so I guess they'll probably want to get in the car and go somewhere. We'll see. Okay, so it's maybe cheaper to travel by air, or maybe not. We don't know. But if you're lucky and very patient, you actually might get a whole commercial flight to yourself, because that happened to a guy named Phil whose flight got delayed 18 hours. This video is amazing if you haven't seen it. By the time he took off, everyone else had given up, and it was just him and the flight crew. Phil posted a video, of course, that you're seeing, which is about his unique experience. It went viral on TikTok. I loved his positivity. And look at the crew. Like, they could have hated the fact that there's just one person on.
They must have been repositioning or something, because why else would they do a flight for just one person?
I saw he said that everybody else gave up or something like that. But I do know, I was stuck for 17 hours on Christmas. And eventually, as our flight kept getting delayed, more people gave up, and more people just decided they would get a hotel. So I'm guessing maybe that's what happened in his case, and they were like, okay, fine, we'll take you.
I do gotta say, I don't mean to rain on his joy, but I mean, goodness, we got climate change stuff is going on.
I was gonna bring that up, Marcus. Thank you for bringing that up.
Flying. I mean,
I know, after the gas prices, we're like, really? He's gonna take a hole? But I liked the positivity.
And I loved the one-on-one with all the crew. They were like, okay, now here's how you do your seatbelt. Are you paying attention? Because when a flight is full, you're like, you can be doing whatever, but no, all eyes were on him.
I love that so much. Okay, so our last one I think that we'll have time for, and this is exciting. Streaming channels are cracking down, we all know this, on who's on the account. But Costco is also cracking down on card sharing members, and they'll be asked now to show their card not only when you walk in, which we're used to, but when you actually go to pay in line.
I experienced this in the wild a few days ago. Literally, we were lining up to go pay for our stuff, and as soon as we got into line, someone was like, can I see your card? And I'm like, I hadn't heard this yet.
Seriously?
And I'm like, sure. And so I popped it up, and they're like, oh no, I need to see the picture. Wow. Okay. Luckily, I had one.
I mean, I guess it's a membership. Marcus, what do we think about this? Do you think it's fair that they're cracking down?
I mean, they got to make an honest buck like anybody else. I will say, I think this causes people to be a little bit more innovative, a little bit more collective. A Costco membership is $60. You get 4 people, you go in, 15 apiece, you designate the one person to go shopping. I may or may not have actually done this. And it works just fine for me, so yeah.
Okay. Shante, thoughts?
I agree with Marcus. There's always a workaround. So I'm sure it might, help in some ways. It might encourage a few people to say, you know what, I need my own membership. But it's also sounding like, let me go ahead and text my friend, girl, when you go to Costco, get blam, bam, bam, drop it off to my house, and we call it even.
Shante, I got you.
I don't have a membership, you guys. So
Yeah,
Call me.
call me. Thank you so much. Shante, Marcus, and Rebecca are going to stick around too, because this was too much fun for Hot Topics later in the show. And we're going to be talking about beige flags and micro cheating. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, we'll fill you in.